Hi everybody, I'm Miss Melody from the Review Gardens Boys and Girls Club. My video is actually about smart girls. Today in this video we are actually going to be talking about the 7 qualities of being a good friend. And then toward the end of the video, I'm going to act out a couple of scenarios about being a bad friend and being a good friend. And then we're going to kind of compare and contrast the 2 scenarios. And then we're going to go from there. So, I hope everybody's being safe and staying safe. So the first quality that I want to talk about when it comes to being a good friend is being a good friend means that you have to be honest. Honesty goes a long way in friendships. Most of the time, when you ask your friend a certain question, you always want them to be honest. No matter what the consequence is, no matter if it will hurt the person's feelings, you always want your friend to be honest, no matter what. I think honesty goes a long way in friendships, just because it plays a major part in the he say, she say. And as you begin to get older, as young women, you know that honesty plays a big part in your friendships. The second thing is accepting. Accepting also plays a very big part in friendships. Accepting is something that friends have to be, because your friend may be a little bit less fortunate than you. They might not have all of the, shoes and the clothes that you have. They may not have the new iPhone. And so on and so forth. So you have to be very accepting of your friends. You have to not try to change who they are, not try to pressure them into doing things that they really don't want to do. So another good way of being a good friend is being very accepting. Third thing is being low maintenance. Low maintenance is not really a big quality, but you don't want to be a friend that has really high standards that your friends can't meet. Most of the time when you are friends with people that you don't know, you don't want to try to over impress them. You just want to kind of be yourself, be who you are, stay true to who you are, and go on about your day. You shouldn't feel like that you have to pay attention to your friend at every second of the day. But you still want to be concerned about what's going on in your friend's life. So your third thing is to be low maintenance. So your first one is honesty, your second one is accepting, and your third one is low maintenance. The fourth way or quality of being a great friend is to be non-judgmental. You cannot judge your friend. You don't ever want to be the friend that says, girl, you should break up with him, or girl, you shouldn't be doing that, or you shouldn't be doing this. You don't want to be the friends that's so judgmental. A lot of the times, judgmental friends tend to hurt other people's feelings because they feel like that they have the right to judge every single thing that you do, and that's not a quality of a good friend. You shouldn't feel like that you have to judge your friend based off of what they do or what they don't do. You want to just give them the love and the support that they need. They don't want to feel like they're being judged for every small and tedious thing that they do. Maybe their hair is crazy one day and they don't want to feel like their friend is going to judge them because their hair is crazy. So being non-judgmental is another great way to be a great friend. Loyal is number 5. Loyalty is a very big part in friendships. You want to always remain loyal to your friends. So that's just if your friend is sitting next to a group of people and those group of people are talking about your friend behind her back, you want to be that person to say, hey, look, that's not cool. Don't talk about my friend behind her back. If you have a problem with he or she, you want to, be able to go to that person and let that person know what's going on. You don't want to be that friend that's talking about your friend behind their back. You want to remain loyal at all times because you would want somebody to be loyal to you. So, if those are your best friends, you really want to make sure that you have your best friend's back, no matter their struggle, no matter what they're going through. You want to remain loyal to your best friend at the end of the day. No matter how many times you guys get into it, no matter, what you guys fuss and fight about, you never tell your friends' deepest, darkest secrets. Loyalty plays a big part in friendships. So that was number 5, loyalty. Being respectful is number 6. Mutual respect is one of the most powerful traits in a friendship. You have to be very respectful in friendships. You can't be disrespectful to one person and think that that person is going to give you respect. Because if you're being disrespectful to somebody, they're not going to give you the respect that you think you quote unquote deserve. You have to give respect in order to get it. So therefore, if you're being disrespectful to your friends are going to be disrespectful to you. And you don't ever want your friends to be disrespectful to you. That's not okay. For example, you should keep your friends' secrets. You are not talking about your friends behind their back. I'm sorry. You are not doing that. You need to also value your friend's time. So you have to respect your friend's space. If your friend feels like, hey, I need space today, I really don't want to be bothered, respect that. Don't get upset. Don't get frustrated. Just give them their space. Be respectful. Give them the same respect that you would want them to give you. So being respectful is number 6. So number 1 is honesty. Number 2 is acceptance. Number 3 is low maintenance. Number 4 is being non-judgmental. Number 5 is loyal. And number 6 is being respectful. Last but not least, number 7 is being trustworthy. So in good friendships, you want to be trustworthy. You want to be able to trust your friend. You want to be able to tell your friend, hey girl, I like this boy and I think he likes me too. And you want to trust that your friend is not going to go and tell somebody about your business or tell, that you like this person behind your back. You always want to be able to feel like you can trust your friend at the end of the day. Trust goes a very, very long way. As you get older, you will begin to learn that you have to be able to trust people. Especially when it comes to building friendships, you have to have a foundation. And that foundation can be small, but that foundation will then begin to grow because you will then be able to feel like you can trust your friends. When you feel like that you can trust your friend, you can literally go and talk to your friend about any and everything. So you want to make sure that whatever friendship that you have, that your friends are remaining trustworthy and that you are remaining trustworthy and being a great friend. So to recap, the 7 great qualities that Miss M thinks is being a good friend. 1, again, is honesty. 2, again, is accepting. 3 is low maintenance. 4 is being non-judgmental. 5 is loyalty. 6 is being respectful. And 7 is being trustworthy. So those are the 7 great qualities in being a great friend. And you always want to remember that friendships have their good days. Friendships have their bad days. Friendships have their good days. Friendships have their bad days. But you want to remain trustworthy. You never want to feel like you can't trust your friends. You never want to feel like you can't be honest with your friends. You don't want to feel like, hey, if I tell my friend how I feel, they're going to get upset. No, that's not a real friendship. Friendships and real friendships, you are supposed to be able to talk about any and everything. Now, we all have our good days. We all have our good days. We all have our bad days. But it's always easier to be a great friend than it is to be a bad friend. Now, Miss M has been a bad friend sometimes. I have got caught being a bad friend. And that's just because I make mistakes. We all make mistakes in friendships. Nobody is perfect. But it's all about being able to accept your mistake and learn from them. You have to be able to accept responsibilities for your mistakes. And you have to learn from your mistakes. At the end of the day, you just want to be able to, learn from the things that you've done wrong. So if you know that you were one of those people who used to talk about your friends behind your back, you want to learn from that mistake and you want to correct it. You want to go to your friend and apologize and let them know, hey, I'm so sorry for talking about you behind your back. I had a weak moment, but I promise you it won't happen again. That's when that trust starts to build. That's when you're able to build that trust among friendships. That's when you're able to have conversation. You have to be able to have direct dialogue in friendships. You have to be able to have conversation and talk about any and everything that you need to discuss by any means necessary. So you never want to throw your friend to the left. You never want to throw your friend off. So now we are going to act out. I have a helper, and we are going to kind of act out a couple of scenarios of a good friendship and a bad friendship. And then we're going to talk about what we could have did differently in the first scenario and what we could have did differently in the second scenario. And then we're kind of compare and contrast. And yeah. So we are going to act out the first scenario.
Hey, I heard you was talking about me.
Talking about you when?
Yesterday at lunch.
And who told you I was talking about you?
Why does it matter who told me?
If somebody told you I was talking about you, then you should be able to tell me who it was.
It don't matter who told me. Did you say it or did you not?
And if I did?
then it's gonna be a problem.
Okay, so maybe it'll be a problem then.
So did you say it or not?
Yeah, I said it.
I'm gonna ask you one more time. Did you say it or did you not say it?
I said it.
My
I just
friends
said that.
told me you was talking about
Okay,
me.
so how you know your friends weren't talking about me? Did you ask your friends that they took up for you yesterday when we was talking about you?
Because I know they weren't talking about me. But
They
I know
were
you talk
actually,
about everybody.
actually,
I know you talk about everybody behind their back, so it kind of makes sense.
actually, your friends were talking about you behind your back, which that was the start of the conversation because your friends were talking about how big you were, and everybody decided to start talking about you. So maybe you want to take that up with your friends because actually your friends aren't your friends because they were talking about you just like me.
Oh yeah, you better walk away.
So guys, that was the first scenario. Come back. So in the first scenario, she came up to me and she asked me a question. Well, first, guys, this is Kyra. She is one of my great friends, actually. So she came up to me and she asked me a question. And instead of me just answering her question, I kind of got smart and gave her attitude. I was kind of being the mean girl. I was laughing in her face. And I actually told on her other friends. So instead of me just admitting my faults and admitting my wrongs, I kind of threw her other friends under the bus. So when I told you that your friends were also talking about you, how did that make you feel?
It made me feel like I couldn't trust nobody.
Okay. So trust is number 7 in the qualities of being a great friend. So do you feel like if I wouldn't have told you that your friends were talking about you, that you probably would have still felt like you could trust them?
Yeah.
So what do you think we could have did differently in that scenario?
As far as what?
As far as maybe your approach or maybe me.
I should have came up to you and asked you.
Okay. So you felt like, so I think that the thing that maybe threw me off is that you immediately accused me of talking about you. Instead of you just saying, hey Mel, were you talking about me? You kind of automatically accused me of talking about you. And sometimes I think that happens in friendships sometimes that instead of, it's a lot of the he say, she say. And he say, she say causes a lot of commotion and it causes a lot of drama in friendships with females because you hear, oh, well, she was talking about you to him and they were talking about you and blah, blah, blah. But you never really know the truth because how can you believe that somebody was really talking about you if you really didn't hear it for yourself? So I think as you guys get older, you'll start to learn that you can't always believe what people tell you. You kind of have to go to the original source and get the information that's needed. So now we are going to act out the scenario a second time, but we're going to act it out a little bit different.
Hey Mel.
Hey, Kai, what's up?
Hey, what's up? What you doing?
Nothing. Just doing some research for school. What's going on?
Nothing. I got a question.
What's up?
Was you talking about me yesterday at lunch?
I wasn't really talking about you yesterday at lunch. I was laughing when they were talking about you at lunch.
I heard that he was talking.
No, I wasn't talking about you, but maybe it did look like I was talking about you because I was actually laughing at them when they were talking about you. And instead of me saying, hey, don't talk about Kai, I was actually just going along with it and laughing. And I should have probably just either walked away or kind of had your back instead of talking about you. So I apologize for not having your back and actually laughing when they were kind of talking about you. That was my fault. So I apologize.
I accept your apology. It's okay. I just wanted to ask a question.
It's fine. I actually appreciate you for coming.
I accept your apology. It's okay. I just want to ask you a question.
Oh, that's fine. I appreciate you for asking and not just, believing what somebody else told you. So
Okay.
I thank you for that.
Okay.
We're cool?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, guys, that was us kind of acting out the second part of the scenario. And I believe that we did that a little bit better. So, in that scenario, Kyra came up to me and she asked me, was I talking about her? And instead of lying to her, I actually told her the truth. And I kind of told her what happened yesterday. I didn't throw any of her other friends under the bus. I admitted my wrong. I accepted responsibility for my own actions. And then I did a major thing. I apologized. And instead of her getting upset with me, she actually accepted my apology. And that is very, 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 very big for her. So, in friendships, what do you think is a key factor in being a great friend? If you had to pick two things, what would be two qualities that you think makes a great friend?
Trustworthy.
Mm-hmm.
And being honest.
Trustworthy and being honest. And actually, being honest was number 1 on my list, and trustworthy was actually number 7. So I think that in all friendships, again, honesty plays a very, very big part. Because you always want to be honest with your friend. You don't want to lie to your friends. You always want to be honest with your friends, guys. You never want to feel like you have to tell your friend a story. You never want to feel like that you have to lie to your friend. You always want to be honest and trustworthy with your friend. Let me see. So when you were in high school, what do you think was the biggest struggle when it came to your friends?
Probably trusting.
Trusting them. I think mine was I think a lot of people when we were in high school struggle with being loyal.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we all as people struggle with being loyal, because loyalty plays a big factor in life in general. But when it comes to friendships, it's sometimes hard to not feed into that negative energy. So when you are talking, when your friends are not around, and you're amongst a group of people, you don't want to be that person that's talking about your friend behind your back with everybody else. You kind of want to be set apart. You kind of want to be that person that's like, no, this is not right. This is not okay. You don't want to talk about your friends. You don't want to talk about your friends behind their back, because that can do one or two things. That can really hurt your friendship, and 2, that can hurt your friend's feelings. And you never want to be the person that's hurting your friend's feelings. You always want to try to be the best friend that you can be. Now, don't get me wrong. We're not perfect. I'm not perfect. I don't think Kai's perfect. We all have struggles. We all make mistakes. But we have to realize and learn that friendships come and go. But it's always great to try to save your friendships before they kind of go left. So you always want to remember to, stay true to who you are when it comes to your friendships. You want to try to make sure that you are being the best person that you can be. And you want to make sure that you're always being honest, accepting, low maintenance, trustworthy, and that you are doing all of the things that you should do. You are not perfect. Please don't think that Miss M is telling you that you have to be perfect, because Miss M is not perfect. Trust me, I make mistakes all the time. But I'm learning. When you are able to learn from your mistakes as you get older, the more that you learn from your mistakes, the better of a person you will become. So when you're able to accept your wrongdoing and apologize and come to grips with that you made a mistake, a lot of people will be more accepting to the fact that you made a mistake, but you also did learn from that mistake. So guys, remember to always apologize. Never feel like you are too good of a person to apologize. You should always be able to apologize. You shouldn't feel like, well, if I go to apologize to my friend, that they're not going to accept my apology. If you guys are real friends, and I mean really real friends, then your friend will accept your apology. They may be angry, and they may be upset, and they may feel like, I don't want to talk to you right now because, you were talking about me, or whatever the case may be. But if you guys are really real friends, as you guys say that you are, once you apologize and you guys communicate, again, you guys have that direct dialogue, and you guys have that conversation, and you guys talk through whatever it was that happened between you guys, then that's when you can move forward and start to rebuild, again, that foundation that I talked about earlier. You start to rebuild on that foundation within your friendship. And that, again, you want to always remember that it's okay to fail, as long as you fail and you learn from that failure or that mistake. You never want to be content or too comfortable in anything that you do. You always want to strive for excellence at all times, even with friendships. So please remember to always strive for excellence. And never feel like that you are a bad person because you made a mistake. I know a lot of times we tend to feel like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. You don't want to ever beat yourself up. If your friend is really your friend, you don't want to feel like your friends are going to beat you up and be like, you a bad friend. Because you don't want nobody to tell you that you're a bad friend. I know I don't want nobody telling me that I'm a bad friend. Like, I think when people tell me that I'm a bad friend, that really hurts my feelings. Like, what I do to become a bad friend? So you never want to down talk your friends. You always want to build your friends up. You really don't want to tear them down. Again, that's where their honesty comes into play. And that's where their low maintenance comes into play, because you never want to accept too much from your friends. Or you never want to feel like that you are expecting too much either. So, remain accepting, and you don't want to be too judgmental. Guys, being judgmental in friendships can really damage a friendship. Because that person will kind of start feeling like you're trying to tear them down because they may be less fortunate, or they may talk funny, or they may look funny, or they may walk funny, or whatever the case may be. You never want your friends to feel like that you are being judgmental. So, again, guys, please remember to be honest in your friendships. I'm gonna go over the 7 great qualities of a great friend, and these are what Miss M thinks a great friend is. So, number 1 is being honest. Again, always be honest with your friends. Tell the truth no matter what, guys. 2 is being accepting. You always want to accept your friend for who she or he is. You never want to try to change who they are. You always want to accept them and be very accepting of what they or who they are. 3, make sure that you are being low maintenance. You don't want to expect too much out of them. You want them to just be able to be comfortable around you. You want them to be able to be themselves around you. You never want them to feel like they have to try to be somebody that they're not. So, again, remember to be very low maintenance. Number 4 was being non-judgmental. Remember that you don't want your friends to feel like they cannot confide in you. You always want your friends to feel like that they can confide in you. You want your friends to feel like that they can tell you their deepest, darkest secret, and it's going to always stay between them and you. You never want to make them feel like that you're going to kind of judge them for the things that they have done or the things that they may do in the future. Number 5, remember to remain loyal at all times. Again, like I told you at the beginning of the video, loyalty will play a big part in your life and also in your friendship. So you also want to remember to try to remain loyal. If you feel like you are putting yourself in a negative situation that will sometimes or some way somehow jeopardize your friendship, please do not put yourself in that negative situation. It is very hard. It is very easy to get into a negative situation, but it's very hard to get out of that situation. So you want to kind of make sure that you are remaining loyal in your friendships. Number 6, you want to make sure that you are being respectful. That is Miss Melody's number 1 expectation in life is respect. You have to give respect in order to get it. So please, guys, make sure that you are being respectful in your friendships. Please make sure you're being respectful. You have to give respect in order to get it. So please make sure that you are constantly respecting your friends, respecting their wishes, and making sure that you are just being a ride-or-die friend. And number 7 is being trustworthy. Guys, please remain trustworthy when it comes to your friendships. It is very easy for someone not to trust you. And once you lose your friend's trust, I think it's very hard to get it back. I think it's probably like one of the hardest things to get back in a friendship. Like once you feel like, oh, I can't trust you, like, you be very, like, you be like, I don't know if I should really talk to you about this. You be very, like, self-conscious about what you say and how you say it. And if you're around your friends, you should be able to talk and say whatever you want to say, however you want to say it. But I think being trustworthy, guys, you got to remember that you have to keep your friends' trust. You have to remain trustworthy by any means necessary. So that is my spiel for the 7 qualities of a great friendship. I want to make sure that everybody is remembering to be safe, stay safe. Make sure you are washing your hands. Make sure that you are, coughing in your arm and things like that. Please make sure you guys are being safe. Know that Miss M misses you guys. I cannot wait to see you, and I can't wait to get with the club. Get with the club, the Boys and Girls Club. So I will see you guys later. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I am Miss Melody from the Review Gardens Boys and Girls Club. I teach smart girls. I am also the coach of the step team at the Review Gardens Boys and Girls Club. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys later.